Hello everybody, it's Amanda here from Creative Pouring based in Rugby in the UK. As you can see, I've done a bit of mixing. I am going to be comparing today some pouring mediums because I still don't think I've got the one that's best for me, and also I'm looking at cost. So this little line here is my paints mixed with, I went and bought some of the famous Elmers School Glue. This cost me, I think it's about £12 English pounds. The glue all is a lot more expensive, and I thought, okay, let's start with the school glue first. So this has been mixed up with 70% Elmers glue and 30% water, which is Julie Cutz's ratio. So that is that pile there. And then the next one is just normal Floetrol. I bought myself a big container, 2.5 litres, because it was on offer. But this one is really thick. It's really gloopy. It is as thick as the Elmer's glue. And when I bought a 1 litre version, it was really a lot runnier. So I don't know whether this is normal, but it's very thick. So that is this second line here. There you go. And then I'm comparing this to my mix I've been using, which is this washable PVA glue from the Gallery London. So it's a British PVA glue. It's not as it's not a cheap craft glue that you can get from some of the shops here. I think this cost me about £8.99. You can get some for like £4.99, but I'm not sure of the strength. But this has been working for me, and what I've been doing is 50% glue, 30% water, 10% Floetrol, and then 10% Liquitex. So I thought, well, I'll just keep with to compare the other two. So what I've done here, I've mixed some paints, so all the same paints, and I've done a 1-to-1 ratio of paint to the relevant medium in all of these. And I just thought I'd show you how thick they were. So basically the paints I've used are, for the white, I've used the Pebeo white. This pale blue is a De La Rowney graduate acrylic. The green is, I mixed a couple together, to be honest, to make it a little bit more limey. So I mixed those two together. And then this is like a, I don't know, you call it a dark turquoise. It's one of Julie Cutz's blue recipes. It's sort of blue, this sort of Pebeo blue mixed with a bit of Hooker's green and a bit of, and I can't remember what else I put in there, but anyway, it's a lovely colour. And then this again is a really dark, deep navy, one of Julie Cutz's navy blue recipes as well. So there are my colours, and I've weighed them all out, so they're all exactly the same. But I just thought I'd show you. I don't know if you can see. Let's see with this one. The consistency is, it's 1-to-1, so that is like, I think, too thick. I'm going to do a flip cup. So this is the Floetrol. See how thick that is? It's hardly even dripping from the spoon. And then this one is my mix. This is a baby little bit more thinner. That's my mix. You can see that's a lot thinner. Let's look at this. This is the Floetrol. It doesn't even come off the spoon, look. Okay, that can't be right. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, so this is the Elmer's glue and water, and that's not too bad. So what I think I'm going to do is just going to go through each one and add a little drop of water, because I know this one's a lot thicker because it's one of the Jackson Art paints is in there, but it's too thick to flip and drag. So I'm just going to stop here and add a little bit of water so I can get my flip and drag consistency to all of these, and then I shall come back to you and then we'll experiment. And I'm still deciding whether to put silicone in the Floetrol or not, but if I'm going to do a comparison, I think I will. That'd be interesting. Okay, right, I'll be back in a minute. Bye. Okay, so I'm back. Done a little mixing with the water. This is the Floetrol line here, and that took, I don't know if you can see the difference. It took a lot of water. I just want to show you this, see if I can do it properly, if you can see it. It's supposed to be a flow enhancer, but look, it doesn't want to come off this. But I've put water in it, but it's like, I don't know, it's very bizarre. Very gloopy. But I've put more water in these. I mean, if you can see the difference in the 2 cups, I don't think you maybe can. But I've put double the amount of water in here just to get this consistency. So I'm going to have to go with it. So this is the Elmers consistency. That's quite... Let's try this one. So then it goes in within a couple of seconds. This is the Floetrol. It just sits. This is my version. Let's see. And then it sort of leaves a trail. And if you can see in this green one a bit easier. That one's maybe a bit runnier than the others. Oh no, it's okay. Let's look at this one. Okay, and then the Floetrol. It doesn't. Oh, this is going to be fun. I don't know what that. I might have to stick a bit more water, and then this is the Elmers. So I think I've got them to relatively the same. This is the Elmers. Okay, so I might just have put a little bit more water in this Floetrol. That one doesn't seem to be so bad. What about this one? Go down. I think it'll be alright. Well, there's only one way to find out. So I've mixed, I've put the water in. I think I'm going to add a drop of silicone in each one apart from the white. So just one little drop in each, and the silicone I use is this acrylic pour 100%, well, 100 silicone pure. There you go. That's the one that I've used. Not much of it as well. Okay, so I'm going to put that in, and then I will put you on my tripod, and we shall do 3 pours. In fact, actually, what I'm going to do is only going to put the silicone in just before I pour each one. That might be best. Okay, right, I'll be back in a bit. Bye. Hi, okay, so I'm back. I'm going to just layer 1 cup so you can see how I'm going to do the layering, and then I'll just layer each one. Can you see that? There you go. So I'm going to do light. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to do, I think, 2 layers. There's only 100 grams of paint in each one. This is 8 by 8 canvas panel, so it's really thin, so I don't have to worry about the edges. And I think 100 grams of paint for that is okay. So I'm just going to do 2 layers each of these. I've put the silicone in each of these, give them a good stir apart from the white. Okay, so I'm going to do half of this one. More. And then half of this on the top. And half of this one. And this one. It shouldn't take too long actually, there's not that much paint, is there? So this is my medium mix that I'm going to do first. these little measuring cups that I got online. You know, with your pouring obsession, you look at everything you can. You go around every shop looking at what you can use for pouring. It's quite, yeah. So I was looking at pet products because I was getting I've got a golden retriever, and I was getting some food online, some dry food, and they were having a sale on crates. You know, what you keep your dogs in to keep them stop chewing your house, and they were selling the mats and the trays, so you can get them like 1 metre wide, 1 metre long lengthwise. And I thought, oh, that'd be great, so you can, you know, do your pouring in this tray to stop it going all over your table. And then I was looking at they've got like basically like a grid, like this cookie, you know, the cooling grid. They've got those grids that you put in the bottom of crates to for your dogs to lie on, which you put a blanket over, of course. And they had those on sale. I thought, blimey, they're good, but they were massive. They were again 1 metre long, and I thought, well, I could use it as a drying rack. I could use it as a, you know, doing big canvases. It's like crazy. You get obsessed, don't you? Anyway, right, okay. Not wasting any paint. Put that one in there. The last of the pale blue. Okay, going in, and I'll just top it with a white, and then hopefully we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the thickness. I think it's good. Nice and thick, not too thick. Okay, that's that lot. I'm going to stick some gloves on because now I'm going to get mucky. Right. So I'm just going to flip this over and then let it sit. And then we're just going to, oh, there you go. See that okay? That's one pile done. I'm going to push this to the corner and then just flip it over, I think. Put it there. There's quite a lot of paint actually for me. So, for this little canvas, but we'll see how it goes. Tilt it off. Right, we're ready. I'm just lift it slightly. I love those colours. Okay, loads in that cup left. Okay, I can see already that the cells are looking good. I'm gonna just tilt it slightly, then torch on all of them to give them a fair go. I'm just going to tilt it slightly to this end first, this corner, and then to this other corner. Try and keep that green on, that green. And then I'm going to torch, and then I'm going to cover it all. Right, put that there for a minute. Touching quite high first, just to get rid of those bubbles, because I've only just made this paint, so it's not been sitting for hours, so it's bound to be a bit bubbly. There's a big one there. Let me just pop that one. Is it bubbly? It's not going to pop. That's it. We've got some quite nice little cells coming up there. Oh, cute. So this is what, if anybody can help me with this, I really would like some help. You see, I've got all these nice little cells. That's my phone, it'll go away in a minute. See, how come I get all these big Mr. Blobbies? I hate these Mr. Blobbies. I don't know why they... Anyway. Right, so I'm... Okay, bear with me 1 second. So, right, I'm going to tilt this off now. Okay, so I'm just going to let that tilt this corner as it's already there. That's it, that's on there. Okay, and then I'm just going to go down to this corner here. There's quite a lot of paint, so I don't mind if some tips off. Okay, and let's just go back to the centre. Okay, and then I'm going to go to this corner down here, just get it down into the middle. I don't want to lose those cells there because I think they're so pretty. But we will give it a go to try and keep that. Let's just maybe stretch them that way. Oh, I know they're going to go off. Maybe I need to try and just hold them with my finger. I don't know if this is a good idea, but it's just, I've just got to go off this edge. I'll put those back on. Will they go back on? Go on, little cells. Oh. Okay, now let's see if I can get back to the middle and then just go over the edge at the bottom there. And then I think it might be okay. More paint. There's something there, but I don't know. I don't want to stop it yet. Okay. Right, let's just, sorry if I'm out of frame, I just need to tip this back now and try and get these cells in the middle. Open those up a little bit. Okay. I'm loving this one. I've got some lovely cells, I've got some big cells, I've got some little cells. Do another little torch. Right. Gosh, no. Loving those colours. You see, I'm really quite happy with that medium. But we'll see what happens with the Elmers glue. I think I've overstretched them here. I wonder if I can get those back. There is a lot of paint on here. Let me just see if I can push those back down a bit. Make them not as lopsided as they. Maybe just run that off the edge a bit without killing off all the others. I just want to go over that edge a little bit with those ones. That's it. And go back. Right, stop now, otherwise you're going to... Okay, right, well I'm happy with that. I love those colours. I'm okay with the cells. I mean, they're not... I mean, look at that one, that's a cutie. Okay, right, I'm going to leave it there. I'll swap them round and then I'll just start you again for the next... before I take my gloves straight off, let me just bring that up a little bit so you can see the cells. So I'm quite happy with that, I really quite like it. Okay, right, so let me just clean down a bit, get some new gloves on, and I'll come back to you in a moment. Okay. So I've put another little baby bit of water in this Floetrol one because it's still really gloopy, but I'm going to go with it. I can't put any more water in. It'll be more water than Floetrol. Right, so I'm going to do the same 2 layers. Oh my god, I don't know if this is going to work. Really gloopy. And I put silicone in it, just in the colours. Really bizarre. Can't be right, can it? You see how gloopy it is when it goes in? I'm not going to scrape these out because there's so much more paint with these because I've had to put more water in, there's more volume. Right, those cups there. I'm going to flip. Oh gosh, these cups are so fragile. Right, let me just put my gloves on because I'm getting messy. We shall give this a go. Just push that up there. This is going to be really gloopy, I can tell. Right, so again I'm just going to, I might leave that a bit longer considering how thick it is for it to fall down. Okay. So I'm going to do the same, just let it sit for a little bit. And then I'm going to stretch it a little bit to each side. Look at that big Mr. Blobby. Oh, Mr. Big Blobby there as well. And yeah, I've mixed that silicone in really well. Okay, right, so let me just tilt it a little bit and then I'll torch it. Okay. So now in theory, because Floetrol is supposed to sell really well by itself, I should have millions of sales, shouldn't I? In theory. But we will see. Right, here we go. Let's see what happens with this. This is cells trying to pop through. Because I'm worried it's so thick and cells won't be able to come up. But those have popped through okay. Not too dissimilar to that one, but there's all these big Mr. Blobbies here and here. They're going straight off, I can tell you. Right then, are we in? Okay. Right then, let's just see. I'm going to just come off this end first and get rid of those two Mr. Blobbies. And off you go. Cheerio. Bye bye. Okay, bring it back. It's a lot paler than that one and not as much green. Okay, let's just take this back, centre it. And I'm going to try. So they're nice cells and they're right on the edge. What am I going to have to do? Tip them off. Right, here we go. That's just the way it goes, and then I'm going to try and tip off the second Mr. Blobby here and the third Mr. Blobby there. Okay, let's just tip this a little bit that way, a little bit that way. It's very slow to move this because I think it is just a lot thicker. Well, I'm just going to sit and... Doesn't want to go, does it? Just see if I can hold that there and hold this paint on. And do it like that. Okay. Try and keep those nice little cells there. Okay, going to bring it back to the centre. It's like slow motion. Okay. And then let's see if I can get rid of that Mr. Big Blobby here without losing all the rest of the paint. Okay. So I'm just going to tip it off that way. Ooh, there we go. There we go. I don't think I'll lose all those. Okay, just put that back. And then just this last corner. I'll just turn it around and then try and just go back to this corner here. See, they're lovely, those that green cell in that right corner at the bottom there. I don't want to lose all those. I think I'm literally just going to roll it down and then touch the edges so I don't have to tilt it all off. It doesn't want to move. Go on, you can go. Go on, go down. A little bit more. A little bit more. don't want to move, does it? Stuck. I have to just do that, I think. Okay. Move it back. Those flowing through the middle. Okay, well, it looks more grey than the other one. All these grey cells where I don't know how the paint is blended, or I don't think I did it in a different order, but I might be wrong. I'll have to look back. Right, let's have another last torch, same as the other one. See if anything pops up. Right then. Okie dokes. Oh, what do you think of that one then? I think I don't know whether it's how I've poured it out, or I think it's very gloopy. I don't like the texture of it at all, and it looks very, I don't know, I don't think the cell, I mean that's nice, but I don't like it as much as my little original one. But, and there is a little bit more paint, there is a bit of paint left in here, but as I say, that's because I put so much water in there. There was nearly maybe another 10-20% more paint overall, because I'd had to put more water in, so I didn't want to put loads and loads on the canvas, and I don't think there's any less paint than there is on that one, but it's just really thick. I suppose you could experiment by putting more and more water in, but I don't know how what that would do to the paint property. I think I've heard people say you can put more water in than they originally thought. Was it 30%? I can't remember now, I'd be guessing. Okay, right, I'm going to put this over, I'm going to stop, I'm going to do my other layering, and then we'll compare all three together. Okay, be back in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. This is now the Elmers glue and water. So I'm just going to do the same half of these in each one, do 2 layers. I mean, I must admit, I really like the texture of this Elmers glue. It's really smooth. Really nice. Okay, so I will be doing scraping these because I haven't got as much water as I did in the Floetrol. So we'll make sure it's all even. That's that one. Line. fleeced. Put on the white. Right, good to go. Okay, flip this over. Push it to the edge and leave it all on a second. I'm quite excited for this one, to be perfectly honest. Let me see, let's just push that there a little bit more. Because I think this will be, it's a lot simpler if you just use a medium that's works for the majority things. Now I've bought a 2.5 litre thing of Floetrol. Oh dear, I think I should still be using it as something, but I've just got to work out how to use it to the best of for my pourings and my paint. Just to recap, I did put 1 drop of silicone like I did all the others, just in the colours and not in the white. So we will see what happens. Right, I'm going to just tilt it slightly. Ooh, pour it over. Lovely colours. Lovely, lovely. Right. Let that sit a moment. Please let's not get Mr. Blobbies. We just want nice cells, no Mr. Blobbies. You can see that okay? Okay. So again, I'm just going to tilt it that way and then tilt it that way, and then I shall torch. So gradually do the old shuffle tilt down to the edge. Oh, some nice cells there. Isn't it the same? You get some lovely cells right on the edge and you don't want to lose them. Never mind. Okay, it's far enough a second. Turn it round. Go the other way. No Mr. Blobbies yet. I'll tilt it back down to that corner. Put that there. Okay. Right, 1 second while I then torch. Right, here we go. Wow, look at all those little, I don't know if it's all bubbles or if they're little going to be cells. That would be very interesting. Right. Okay. I've got 1 Mr. Blobby there. Some baby cells. Let's see if they're going to grow. This is a nice little cluster here. Wow, what a difference. Okay, well, let's see how they go once I've stretched it a little bit more. So, I think this corner's got to go, but I'm just going to, as it's close enough there, I'm just going to take that little one off first. So I'm just going to try and, it's a shame because look, a nice little cell there on the end, always the same. Okay, I'm just going to pinch that down and go off. Okay, bring it back to the centre, and then go back to the centre. Yeah, okay, now just go down to this corner, which is virtually off. I want to see if I can get rid of that Mr. Blobby there in there. Okay, I'm back. Yes, my phone stopped because I'd got no storage left, full of videos obviously. Anyway, so hopefully I've just deleted a load, and as you can see, this is the lovely Elmers Glue pour, and you can see so many really lovely cells. Let me just get you down there so you can see. I did the second torching like I did with the others. And look at those cells there, absolutely amazing. And look at the little colours that come through, the little pale blue around the dark green and then the light green there. I mean, we do have some big ones over here, which is fine. We do have a couple of Mr. Blobbies, so I suppose that's just practice with me tipping it out and using it. But if you can look, I'll do a comparison. So this is the Floetrol one. I mean, I thought I would get loads more cells with that, but I think it was obviously far too thick, and I think I just have to really find a consistency and water it down before I mix it with the paints. I think that's what I'm going to have to do with that, and then I'll play with that a little bit later. And then this is the mix that I normally do, which is the 50% PVA glue, Floetrol and Liquitex. But I think for cells, this has got to be the winner. Got to be the winner. Okay, I've really enjoyed doing that. I've learned quite a lot about consistency of paint, and I love the colours on these. What I'm going to do is I will post this eventually, but I'm going to put the video up on YouTube, of course, because that's what you're watching it on, duh. But I'll also put some pictures on so you can see the three side by side. But it was a fun experiment. It's a fun afternoon. Let me see if I can get you all three together. There you go. Let me know which one you think is best, which one you think is the better pouring medium. It is amazing the difference, I must admit. Okay, that's my favourite. Look at those little darlings down there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you've learnt or found something out about different pouring mediums. If you have, please like and share my YouTube channel, and I'll hopefully see you very soon. That's Amanda, over and out.